Now let's bring in retired Lieutenant General Richard Newton for more on the unfolding situation in the Middle East. Good morning to you. Well, Iran's Revolutionary Guard says it will respond in the most ferocious operation in history. What does that look like?
Well, good morning, Matt. Good to be with you. It's certainly we're past the 24-hour mark here in combat operations, and what has been conducted so far on certainly the United States and Israeli side here is over 2,000 combat sorties gone against a variety of Iranian targets, especially their retaliatory strike capabilities and certainly their leadership. As Ayatollah and his senior leaders have been taken out. However, Iran still has a robust ballistic missile capability, Matt, as well as drones, and that is number one on the target list with regard to what I'm absolutely certain U.S. Central Command and our Israeli, wingmen here are going to be going about in terms of shutting down their ability to retaliate, not only against the United States forces in the region. We have about 40,000 men and women in the region, but also Israel, but the Gulf Arab partners, Oman, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Bahrain. None of these nations have been not left touched. So they've all been attacked as well. So that's primary focus right now as we go into the second 24-hour period as we speak, Matt.
Richard, with Iran's leadership fractured, who is on the trigger? Who is sending these missiles all around the Middle East at the moment? And how deep is their cache of actual weapons?
First and foremost, with the Ayatollah now dead and several of his senior leaders, as I mentioned, next lined up is their national security advisor. Think of the same position that our national security advisor and Secretary of State Marco Rubio plays. And so he's now lined up to take over in either an interim basis or full-time basis, and that's according to plan. Frankly, on a leadership scale here in terms of targeting, he becomes target number one now. And so I can guarantee you, U.S. Central Command forces and the Israeli forces are still going after their leadership as well. And so that's key. Can you repeat the second question, part of that question?
I was just going to ask about the depth of their ammunition. How deep is their cache of weapons?
Yeah, it's this attack, compared to the one back in June, Matt, that we talked about previously, it's not as robust as we saw back in that 11-day air campaign, that 12th day when we did Midnight Hammer, where our B-2 bombers went out and took out their nuclear weapons capability. This response has not been as deep. However, the however part here, if I'm the commander of U.S. Central Command, Admiral Cooper, I'm concerned about their ballistic missile. They've had a resurgence in their ballistic missile production as well as their drones. And inside their ballistic missile capabilities, they're short-range ballistic missiles, which, again, can attack the United States forces as well as those Gulf Arab nations I mentioned. But they're medium range, are going after Israel. But so far, not as robust as we saw last year. However, that does not mean that they haven't really been able to unleash the full panoply of capabilities. So we're not out of the woods yet at all. No. This is only the second day, but more to follow, I'm sure.
Yeah, and we'll continue to watch. Thank you so much, Richard Newton. Here's Nat.